Hello, my lovely. So, bit of a last minute panic on there. It didn't have the wire plugged into the back of the PC. And if I don't have that, I get a terrible connection. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing all right. Hello, Welsh girl. Hello, Hadiel. So just wait for a few people to pop on, and I'll put the link out if anyone wants to jump on. But don't forget, you have to let me know who you are. So yeah, that was a bit of a panic on. Knackered now. Just wait for a few people to jump on. Because my signal connection is unstable. I'll put it. Hiya, Gary. Kids are saying me the connection to the computer isn't all that well. But we will try to carry on. Wonder if it's because I've got this cheaper Wi-Fi. Better keep it up. Let's see what's it got on here. Now it's got internet access. Hiya, Rob. What I'm going to do. Oh, this might. Oh, I don't know if this will turn me on. Turn me on. Turn me on. So for some reason, it's not red. You know how you can see. Just give me 1 sec, people, because I'm going to go downstairs and check if it's in the back of the router itself. It won't be a second. There we are. That should be better because it wasn't plugged into the back of the router. I thought it wouldn't. And we're going to have. We would have had a terrible connection. Let's see. So a couple of people said they're coming on. We'll have to wait and see if they turn up or not. It's going to be a boring show, isn't it? Hiya, Sean. Hiya, Donny. Oh, too old. Too old to be running around like that. My little lovelies, I'm knackered now. Oh. So, as some of you might know, I met up with Craig and Chrissy today, which was really good. Bit of a panic on the face because they didn't go to exactly the right place I told them to go to. And so I thought I'd better start looking around to make sure we're in the right place. Because of course I'm not used to Liverpool. And then luckily I stumbled upon them. But yeah, nice little chat it was. Very, very nice little chat. So did anyone watch Decker before when he was he cut Humble Dryer off? And then he's saying that Humble Dryer jumped out the chat, took himself as if Humble Dryer's been waiting for that for 4 years, he said, didn't he? There's no way he's going to suddenly jump out of the chat when he gets that chance. So, I don't know what else to say. Just wait if anyone wants to jump on or anyone wants to ask some questions or anything in the chat, feel free to fill in the time. Because I've done this before today and no one's turned up. No one's saying, come on there. On there live. which is a bit pointless having it. And so I went back to invited guests only. So what's everyone been doing, or what does anyone want to talk about? Me to waffle on about here. No questions. I'll keep it going for another 5 minutes, and if it doesn't get going out into some non-starter. Because it's just gone dead silent. Most probably it's because this connection, I've connected it to a keep on freezing. Well, yeah, that's an NFG said he'd come on. It'll be interesting. We'll come on. But just let's check, because you see, it's saying that I'm connected by the, let's see. I'm going to take this Wi-Fi out and see if that helps. Now, yeah, it's not the camera. What it is, it's the connection, and I'll have to get onto the internet provider because I'm paying enough for it. And anyway, the connection's gone up a bit. It's creeped up a bit, but yeah, Donny, it's not the camera, it's the connection, and I'll have to get onto them tomorrow and say, come on, you've increased the price and yet the saves has gone right down, or I'll have to change provider. Because I give them 2 chances, then if they don't fix the situation, fix the connection, I just go and find a new connection. Because it's strange how when you first join them, it goes fine, then it starts slowing down. So I'll have to get onto them. Because I attach it to the hub by USB cable. Well, to the, not the hub, the thing. And that makes it run faster, but lately it hasn't been. It's been absolutely terrible. I'm actually running off the Wi-Fi, which it shouldn't be that. That's yes, Cindy. Let's see what there was a couple of questions. Oh, the topic. It can be anything anyone wants. What anyone wants, just say. Oh, when Cookie's getting out, I haven't got a clue, Sean. I haven't got a clue. I haven't actually heard from her for a while. I keep in touch with Flossie Jock, though. I do keep in touch with her, who's his partner. Yeah, I was hoping NFG would turn up, because that was interesting what happened the other day. Did you see, was I imagining things? Decca said, right, that Craig had put in a defamation complaint. And in the defamation complaint, the defamation complaint got the video taken down. That would have been the one where Video Craig was in it and where NFG was in it. No way would they act that quick, as far as I know, not on the defamation complaint. Then I looked and it's on his channel. I think Decca's getting into telling these lies all the time, and it should become second nature to him to lie. He's making up stories, and it's not going to help him in the long run doing that. It's like it was obvious he cut off Humble Dryer, no doubt about it. You saw his hand going towards what must have been the phone or something, and then Humble just goes, and there's no way in a million years, after waiting for 4 years, that Humble Dryer was going to suddenly have the chance to talk to him, then skip out. Oh yeah, I'm fine. Cindy, it's just met video Craig and Chrissy, which was very, very nice. Enjoyed that. Had a cup of coffee and a long chat, which was good. And then just as we were leaving, the heavens opened, and I mean the heavens opened. It pelted down bad stuff. It was done. No, when the rain's dancing off the ground, it's that heavy. It's absolutely terrible. Shit, bubble. Oh yeah, well, scared they do. I don't think he even believes his own lies. It's not at that to that state. He's finding it all very funny at the moment. You see, what's happening, which he's right about, is he's getting all these views, and that's because of his notoriety. And he's getting loads and loads of clicks and views. So he is happy. As he said, he did say the other day, didn't he? He said if it wasn't for people like Video Craig and Humble Dryer, he wouldn't be getting the views he is. The only side effect is he's losing his businesses, isn't he? Yeah, Lisa. Well, that's what will happen. It was so obviously cut Humble off and then blatantly lied about it. Oh no, look at that, they go away. I don't know whether he's worried or not. I think he's just playing games. That's all that he's got left for him. But it was I wish NFG would come on. He said he would. Well, let's see if we can get in touch with him. Because I don't want to start talking about it when, he's not here to talk about it. Let's see if we can get hold of him. Oh, no, he can't come. Can't meet her again. So that's a no-no. So I'll have to talk about it without him being here, which I didn't want to do. No, what it was, I think. No, here we are. Here he is. Yeah.
Good evening, and how are we doing?
Oh, right, I just saw your message now. I just checked.
Because there's some stuff I want to finish off. I set up my own life for 8 o'clock, so I've got 15-20 minutes on.
Oh, that's great. That's brilliant. So I saw yesterday, you've been on again, Deckers, haven't you, today?
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see that one. But yesterday, how did you feel that went with your interaction with him?
The first one, I went in all guns blazing. I did. Because
are we talking about the one yesterday? Because I know that wasn't.
I did two yesterday.
Oh, well, the second one where it was where it's also like he was sitting there and he was going on about, the one where he was going on about the jumping off the bridge, and his mental health. How do you felt that went?
I got him with the mental health questions. As you know yourself, where you've worked in the past, police have a duty of care to take you straight to A&E, even though there seems nothing physically wrong with you. When you come to commit, try to commit suicide, let me say, they have a duty of care to take you straight to A&E. Nah, they're not going to say, get it back in here, we'll take your home, kid. No, they're not going to say that, are they?
They're not going to say what, sorry?
They're not going to say, get it back at car, we'll take your home.
No. What they'll do, what they can it depends, though. I tell you now, it depends on the force, because I've noticed forces work different from each other. Now, with Merseyside Police, what they do, or the trend would be, it's really the individual officer that makes the call. What they'll do is they'll turn around and they'll ask, would you want to see the triage team, they call it? And that can take months. But if someone is caught on a bridge, let's say, and I'll have to say something about this, it's claimed that he had a mental breakdown, because remember when he said that happened. But if it's imminent, look, I had it happen to me a few years ago. I didn't even know I was having a nervous breakdown. I thought it was fine, and I was having a nervous breakdown, and I came very close to doing it, to absolutely doing something stupid. And thankfully, one of my neighbours twigged that there was something not quite right, and so she acted on a hunch and got the police down. Now, literally, the police came out, spoke to me, and immediately there. Next thing, there was a short break. I went for a walk, and I seen these two coppers coming towards me. And so I knew there was immediately something wrong. but I'm like in la la land, not really seeing what reality is.
Mm.
And so they said, "Oh, can we walk with you back to the house?" And so I said, "Why do you want to walk with me?" And they were so caring, and I said, "Come on," I said, "Tell me what's going on." So they knew that I used to work with them. So they said, and one of them knew me and said, "Look, we've got this, we've had this report." And I said, "Look, I'm not going to run away." I said, "Let's walk back." Oh, Jesus, how embarrassing. Do you know, my front driveway was full of coppers and social workers and a doctor, a psychiatrist. I wasn't even allowed back into the house.
No.
I was and they said, either you agree to go in to be assessed, and it was 3 weeks I was in there. You had to go in and agree to be assessed, or we're going to section you. Oh, we'll ask for you to be sectioned.
Yeah.
So I had to agree to it. So when he turned around, the thing that I got up, so but not all forces act like that. But if I'm in danger, they should get the person, as you say. They wouldn't put them into a back of a car and take them home, unless they thought it wasn't serious. But if they saw them ready to jump off, no, they wouldn't do that. But he said this, and this is the thing I said ages ago, Baron, when he said he'd had a mental health, he'd had a nervous breakdown. Look, you can be, if you're in that situation that you're that bad, I'd be surprised that you'd be let in, and then they'd say, "Oh, here we are, 5 days. Go on, you can go home." That's way. You'd only have one appointment with the psychiatrist in that time.
No, not at all. No, and that's also as well where I asked the questions about the P test. I don't know if you heard that bit as well. I can't remember. It's called a pathological test or something. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
I had it all wrote down, and basically it's answering your own questions, if you know what I mean. And a psychiatrist should put these things to you because it's all part of the helping process. He'd never heard of it.
Well, do you know what? To tell the truth, I'd never heard of that. I was saying, I wasn't sectioned. I agreed to go in, but I'd never heard that. But well, Kate said one thing. I don't think you got him within your played right. Now, this is the thing, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I thought what it was on that situation, that one that I saw last night, the second one, I think he got the upper hand there because some of the things you're saying to him were either, petty or just going. The impression I got, this is the honest impression I got, if he turned around and said the sky was blue, you were going to say that the sky was green. And I think that's when it all went awry, and it started, and he was keeping dead calm. No, he wasn't kicking off or anything. And I think you had the questions, but you were just, because you don't like him, it was obvious that you don't like him, and it was coming across of that, like arguing with him and getting at him. So I didn't see the the second one. Did you take it? The third one, sorry, today. Did you take a different approach?
Now, in my defence from the second one yesterday, somebody actually had to message me to tell me that he'd put the live up to invite me back on.
Yeah.
So my getting ready for it, basically, I had no time, and plus I work from home. So while I was on that live, I was actually working as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't know anything about that. Call it an excuse if you want to, but that's the reason. Now, there's some of the stuff I put to him. All right, petty, fair enough, fair comment, take that. But the answers or the questions that I was asking, he won't answer particular questions.
Yeah.
Why won't you go for a lie detector test? All you get is just call me Ted Heggie, Ted Decker Bundy or something like that, he said. Same as call me Decker Cashman. How sick is that?
That's not nice. That he wants to stop that. He really, really wants to stop that.
Now, to me, and he actually said, tongue in cheek from his part, I won't do it because I'll fail it because I'm Decker Bundy. Is that funny? Nah, it's not funny. It's such a serious, dark subject. It is not funny what you have just said. Why won't he do the lie detector test? He's doing it because he won't do it because he won't pass it.
Well, you see, the thing is, this is what I've got about these. Well, he said he would, didn't he? But he wanted you to show your face if he face. But the question I'd be asking, I'd be saying, well, you know, can I trust you? If I show me face, on your part, can you trust you? And also, you made a good point. Why does he need to be asked to do it? Well, need someone to show the face to do it. He should do it if he's that concerned. But lie detectors, you've got to be very, very careful. And there's a reason for it, why they don't use them in this country. And a lot of places won't use them as evidence because they simply are not as good as, Jeremy Carl makes out.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not as good at all. And if someone said to me, take a lie detector, so I go and swing for it because they can go disastrously wrong. But I mean, I think when you're saying, what he's doing is, it's not even that he needs a lie detector. He just needs to explain. Well, here we are. This is what Kate just said, a grown-up debate. And this, I think someone has to go on there. I mean, if he'd invite me on, I'd go on there who won't goad him or start insulting them. Because Video Craig went on, and Video Craig did a very short routine at him, said what he wanted to say, then went away. But it was more or less, it's a defensive, and that's what happened with yours as well. It's a defensive conversation. In other words, he's on the defense all the time. Even when Humble Dryer went on, Humble Dryer, first of all, got him on the defensive when he turned around and said, I'm glad that you've grown a pair and can speak to me now. That's immediately going to put him on it. But at the same time, Decker must know that if he's going to let you on and he's going to let Humble on and he's going to let Video Craig on, it's not going to be all nice and, let's sit down and have a cup of tea and, discuss this like adults. It's not going to happen like that. I think he's actually doing it for the clicks myself.
He's run out of content because this boxing thing, bi-knuckle thing, it's not going anywhere, is it? In truth, it's not going anywhere, and he's run out of content. Whether he said it's going underground or whatever, there's nothing there for him to do.
Yeah. So where do you think this goes, Hedden? Because think about his Decker. He's no matter what you think about him or think he's done, he's not going to go into the shadows, is he? He's
not going to go into the shadows. Now, I've discussed this a couple of times on my lives. Now, sometimes you're in two minds. If you don't talk about him and leave him alone, he's going to have no content, so he'll go into the wilderness. Yeah. But if you do talk about him, he's on social media. We know where he is. Well, all right. We know what he's doing on social media. We don't exactly know where he is, but we know what he's doing on social media, so we can keep an eye on him. As moving forward, he's never going to admit his wrongs, is it? He never will. He never will. No. Never.
I think what it is, it's also, Cindy's made a point here about how good he's always going on. How good, it's great, people. It's wonderful, this. And it's like, this is totally bizarre. Because, after what is being thrown at him, and he's like, life's good, I'm up there, and all this business. And it's like, there's something not. Also, it also belies this idea that he's got PTSD and all this business. Because surely, if he had PTSD, he'd be beyond triggered by now. He'd well beyond it by this point. And that's what gets me. And I don't like the fact that he is suddenly trying to make out that he was abused as a child. Man.
So if you go to a psychiatrist, you've got mental issues.
Yeah.
And things like social media aren't helping your mental state, wouldn't the first bit of advice be keep off social media?
That's what the police will tell you. If you go to the police and even say, I'm getting intimidated, I'm getting bullied, the first thing they'll turn around to you and say is, well, close down your account then. And that's what the CPS say as well. Now, if you go to the CPS, unless it's a business or something you've got going and you need it, but half the time you just get told, close your account down, unless it gets really bad and it starts going, which it has done with him, actually. It's gone off social media. But I think the thing is, but you would be told, well, if it's getting that bad, just close your account down, which when you think of it actually is, are you saying the police when they'd say that, get a new phone if someone was being harassed, get a new phone, close down your accounts, your Facebook account and all this. I'd say that's really shitty advice because what you're doing to the person is saying, here we are, make our life easier by just closing down your accounts. And I said, when they do that, I said, they're having to disconnect from the friends and everything. And I hated that advice. I used to hate it, but they will give that advice. You're right. They'll say, well, come off, just to make their life easier.
So that just says to me, if, and I insert the word if, he's got all this and he's going through mental health psychiatrists, he's obviously ignoring their advice.
Yeah.
I think he's thinking of his pocket. That's what he's thinking.
I think do you know what bit? I'll tell you what bit did make me laugh was when, and you got him straight away, about the house. He said he'd give you the house, didn't he?
Yeah, so
if you could go, and you said it's not your house.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, good God. But yeah, it was interesting. I never thought he'd actually start letting people on. I really, really didn't think he'd do that. But I'd like to, actually, I wouldn't mind having to talk with him to, see what's going on. Because I think what it is, I don't know. It's getting to the point where I think it's playing game. I mean, TVG's just said here, and you should jump on this next live. I doubt highly he'd have you on us. He knows your previous occupation. See, what I get with him is that I'd sit on me and I'd talk to him, but the whole thing that it hinges on for me, and this is the whole thing that it hinges on, is the fact that he turned around and he said he'd shown this full acro a long, long time ago. Here's my full acro. And I said, no, I don't believe it is. I just could tell that something was missing out of it. And then months later, he turns around and says, I'm never going to show me NFAs. And so I thought, well, wait a minute. You never have shown your full acro then. You've just admitted it, slipped up and admitted it. You haven't shown it. And go on.
No, go on, finish off. Sorry.
I was going to say, the thing about it is that by doing that, he's really, well, to me, that's when he started putting, that's when I thought, you've just admitted it now without realising it. But another thing I wanted to mention as well, which I know I don't like, this young woman that he was going with who had autism.
Yeah.
Now, you have to be very, very careful with this. And I had this discussion with Humble Dryer once, and he was going on about it. I said, look, Humble, you've got to be careful, because just because someone has got autism doesn't mean they can't go into a sexual relationship with someone.
No,
and that one, I think people should keep off. Maybe say, and I'm not, that one, I've always been wary of that one, because she was with him for such a long time. Now, that can happen. That can happen, and a person can still be a victim.
Yeah, but you look at it spin coin round down. He said, and I quote from the live last night, that she didn't have autism when she was with him. She suddenly developed it after they split up. You don't just develop autism.
No, didn't he say she didn't know she had autism until after they split up or something? I don't know.
You still don't just develop it, though, do you?
Oh, no, you don't develop it. He didn't say that, did he? He said she didn't know. But I don't know whether that's true or not. But by the by, I mean, I saw clips of her speaking, and I thought she's not severely autistic. She's not, she's not really low on the spectrum. Or what? I'm getting it the wrong way on. I get mixed up with this high-low business. But she doesn't seem that much. But that always makes me cringe, because like, you can be taking those saying, oh, well, if someone's got autism, they shouldn't go into a sexual relationship, which I think people should keep off that side of it. Yeah, talk about it, but then well, I missed this bit. I liked it when NFG said about his next Netflix film, and Decker didn't know what to say on that one. What was that about? What did you say?
You know how it was supposed to be this Draga in this Netflix series.
Yeah.
He couldn't answer me. And then I said to him, he also lied, maybe 5-6 months ago, about he was supposed to go into America to sign this big movie contract. And then I asked him about it. He went, don't know what you mean. Don't you want about? And then in the next breath, how do you know it's not already filmed?
Yeah.
Right? So you have to catch up on little bits like that.
Did you see that fella? The fella that was doing that film, what's his name? The one that was going, no, God,
yeah,
isn't he?
I
He's
don't
on. He's on Instagram, and he's a right too. Honest to God, he's
Yeah.
one too, and he's doing this all the time.
yeah. I
And got
also
his kids doing it.
caught him out as well with the father and the son who paid £500 for these tickets for over at Jack Draper, the fight with Jack Draper.
Oh yeah.
And I asked him that he put a video up of whoever it was saying that there was the father, and Decker hadn't ripped me off or anything like that. Then suddenly, a week after, the real father came on, and he
Yeah, I
denied,
remember that.
yes,
Yeah.
and he denied that he ever made the video, and he's denied it.
He's a liar. He's a compulsive liar, and I've noticed that about him. He just lies and lies, and actually, he gets a kick out of lying.
Yeah.
He seems to, this is what I said ages ago. I said he's creating the drama, he's living on it. Someone the other I made a video before about me meeting up with Craig, how we're wrong and all this business. Bullying, apparently we're bullying Paddy Conroy and bullying Decker. Are you kidding me? Decker is making a killing out of this. He's making a killing out of it. And as for Paddy Conroy, bullying Paddy, they want to listen to what he actually accuses people of. My God. But he's literally, I think he's getting enjoyment out of it. He's getting a kick out of it.
Oh, he's getting a kick, most definitely.
Definitely
getting a kick.
He's enjoying every minute of it. And this thing about would you come to Craig that he said, would you fight me? And it's like, well, what's that going to prove? Could you come and do me in a fight? It's like, so what? So fighting someone doesn't prove that you're doing.
He can mention all this fighting, and he may be able to beat you to a pulp and stuff like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're scared of him.
Yeah.
You don't have to be scared of him. Nothing about him scares me at all. And then the other thing last night as well, which I don't know if you've touched on. First of all, I lived in Scarborough on the seafront. He came up with drive. He knocked on my door. I never answered the door. He knocked on my car when I was driving past. So from that first live to the second one, suddenly now I live in Preston.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
So I've quickly moved.
Yeah,
I've quickly moved. And then because I kept catching him out with the Scarborough on it, and he just said, we're only messing anyway. No, you weren't messing.
Yeah.
You weren't messing because you were getting no further with it. So you weren't messing at all.
It was the one that said he would show his face. Someone said, didn't they? If you do your, like, see, he'll say he'll do it, and then it's whether he will do it. But someone was saying they'd show exposure, wasn't it? Was saying he said, I'll show you. We know what exposure looks like.
If I show my face, he's going to take that quick photograph and he's going to put it all over. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. What's the? Oh, I just seen it. Didn't know what was going on then. Just saw a comment. But yet, it's really, I say, he's become like his own little. And this is what's strange about it. When you have a situation like this and it's all consumed, and I've seen this happening on YouTube before, where it's all consumed, and it seems to be that's the event on YouTube to follow and all this. Then you suddenly look away from it and you see what's happened on some other areas of YouTube, and they're getting like millions of views, and you think, this is a pissy little argument, isn't it? That's going on. That's all it is. It's weird.
It's schoolboy or childish. I'll see you behind bikes after school for a fight, that's what it is, and it does frustrate you sometimes. And now the morning, I think it was about 2:00. I think I went on, and then I just went on because I was so angry. I got the opportunity to click his link, get on there, and I just went all guns blazing. Wrong, all right, and it were every this, get a shower, all this, all that, all of that. All right, I were wrong. I shouldn't have gone like that. But I weren't prepared for it, and I just thought, now I'm going to tell you through own truths, mate. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I did.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I did think, I got the impression it backfired on you a lot, especially the attitude thing of it, and he kept his calm. But I've been in the situation where I remember when me and Humble were absolutely at loggerheads, horrendous loggerheads, and I'm telling you now, I went on, and I've always regretted it. I went on Steve Wright's and me and Tumble were talking, and I just couldn't keep my temper back. I was raging, and you know when I think, and because you go on thinking, oh, I'm going to keep it cool here. I'm going to, I'm not going to, and then you get on there and you see the person who at that moment, and you hate them at that moment, you despise them. And it just goes, it all comes out, and I made myself look like a red
yeah, exactly the same. And then when someone texts me saying he said deck of the NFG 2, round 2, I think it was, something like that. When someone told me, I'd calmed down, I went on, I didn't, do what I did the first time. I just wanted the questions answering. Now, the question, he will not answer the Amy question. So as that question came on today, bang, I was off. It cut me off straight away. He did it to Humble. He's done it to Video Craig. Just answer the question.
But it's what got me is when he was doing it to Humble, you could see the smirk on his face, or he was trying to suppress a smirk. And I thought, this isn't a subject to be smirking about.
No, it isn't. No, you're right. You're right.
And to blatantly lie, and this is what I don't like about him. I can't stand liars. I always say, give me, I'd rather have a thief any day, because usually thieves need the money, or they need something, and that's why they take them. But a liar just causes so much damage. They really, really do. And
he's not got a good memory. He has not got a good memory. Now, I also caught him up with the £200 charity donation he was going to give to a mental health charity.
Oh, yeah. What was that all about?
He actually said when he was the mental health channel, whatever he called himself, he was going to give £200 in a white envelope, and he was going to do a photograph of him handing the envelope over to a member of staff. And he did say that. But then I can remember him after that saying, well, these trolls have lost my earnings. That's mine. I'm keeping that. And then now he's simply denying it.
Yeah. Oh, you can't do that.
He's denying it. And it's sick, especially when it comes to charity.
Well, anything. That's it. He just he's continually, and I can't see how people don't see it. But he's good at painting it. I'm the victim here. And it's like, you just.
I mean, up to the fella, he's good at what he's doing. The wrongs that he's doing, like, getting money for this, getting money for that, and the manipulation and the deflection tactics. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, God, yeah. He knows exactly what he's doing.
And if he's clever at something, that is what he's clever at, because he's clever at nothing else.
Yeah.
He's absolutely clever at nothing else.
But here we go. Let's see this. Here we go, Josh. Decade just simply doesn't care. These wrong ones you've got to be clever with them. Should have added about diet chips.
Now, is that the Josh? Is that the Josh who works with him?
I don't know. Got a clue.
Because isn't his editor called Josh? Simon introduced him to Josh.
I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
I haven't got a clue. But it's just, I don't know which way it's going with this, but I know one thing. Humble won't be pleased by what happens. I can imagine there's going to be a space and war. But it's the lies. It's like you were saying. I don't know what you heard me saying at the beginning. He claimed that Video Craig had put in a complaint about the video last night, where Video Craig came on about defamation. And then he said it's been taken down. Well, I know for one, YouTube won't act that quick, because they actually get a lawyer to see if it is defamation. So they won't act that quick. And two, I'm sure I saw the video back up there. I thought, well, how's that happened? The video's on there. So this is it. He saw that lying, brazenly lying, blatantly lying.
Yeah.
And I think he's getting into this control. Do you know how some people went, and I've always despised this type of person as well, they think that they get something over on someone, and they think that makes that person an idiot. And it's like, no, you're not making that person an idiot. You're just proving that they're trusting and you're an asshole. That's what you're proving. But they get off on it. They think, oh, look, I've got one over on them. And that's what I think he's doing at the moment.
I mean, you're never going to, the people who are supporting him, I don't think we'll never change the mind. That won't happen.
Yeah.
You're always going to have that minority that are going to believe every word he says.
Yeah. I think some of them, though, do. There have been a few who followed him. And then something just twigs in and they think, oh, I don't like this. And also, if you look at the chat, you don't go by how many views someone's getting, because it can be easy to think that, oh, loads of views, that means people like it or people like the person. No, if you actually look at a lot of the chat and comments he gets, it against him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that people are watching because they support him. They're just watching because it's the latest drama that keeps on giving.
No, I get all that.
And as he keeps on getting that drama in, he's fine, but he's seen that it's success. But I've said this before, I was involved with a huge, the Dadgate thing, absolutely massive. And you couldn't move for that. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, I said at the time, wait, I said, because people get bored with the same film being played all the time. Once it gets into repetition, which it's starting with Decca now, starting to get into repetition, not just him, but people who are pulling them up. And what happens is then people start thinking, no, where's the next one? And all that's got to happen is the next drama has got to come along. Then that's forgotten. And actually, that's the damaging part, because when that gets forgotten, the people just suddenly find out that they've got no audience.
No.
And that's all their audience was for. So that's what you have to, be ready for. I think it will happen naturally. I don't think it will be forced on him. He'll always bounce back. That's it. He'll bounce back all the time.
I'm gonna go on because I'm going live in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks for inviting me on. Constructive criticism. I take on board, Dan. I take on board.
Oh, brilliant. So anyway, see you again, and thank you for that. Thank you.
No problem. Speak to you all. Thanks, chat.
Take care.
Speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. So if anyone wants to jump on, nice little chatty chat. Well, they say the small lines that will turn subscribers away from him, not the sexual predatory behaviour. I say staunchly supporting them on that. Yeah, they say people either get it or they don't get it, don't they? That's it. It either clicks in or it doesn't. Because at first I was sitting on the fence. I thought I don't know which way to go with this, but that was because I didn't like the methodology that the modus operandi that Humble was using, and at the time I thought this is the wrong thing to be doing. But then it just suddenly clicked, and I thought, no, there's something not genuine here. There's something not genuine at all going on here. And you have to let people get to their own conclusions on it. Sometimes you can't force feed someone. You have to let them naturally come to the place and eat off it themselves. That's what's going to happen. And it's going on for a long, long time. But it'd be interesting to know what people actually think about. Yeah, Dave, that's what I notice. It's easy, isn't it? Unless you look at someone's comments and all that, what actually is the feeling of the people that are watching. And it's just that basically, it's not that they're watching because they like him. They're watching because he is so controversial. And this is what happens. Controversy gets the views, but controversy only lasts so long. Then it becomes boring and normality. And you think, oh, I have to move on. This is the horrible thing about YouTube as well. You'll get something and you think, oh, this is brilliant. I can, work with this. And then people start losing interest. And I saw that happening. What's this? I know it's shopping. Oh, thank you for that, e-bike. Thank you. Oh, Darkbuff. I haven't heard from Darkbuff before. Hello? Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so yeah, you get it. And it's I say, oh, well, I was going to say something then and it went right out of my head. See who's paying attention. What was the old git saying before I forgot? was, don't forget how many. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I do that myself. I'm like, if someone's rude, it's like, oh, nasty. Block, 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 block. And when you go into it and when someone says unblock me, you can't remember why you blocked them in the first place. And then you go looking and you think, God, blimey, how many have I blocked? Seems to be a list that goes on forever. But people change, I say, people change the views. That's the thing about it as time goes on. And that's why I say you can't force feed people. Deca will become a boring thing, but you've got to get something else to come in around in the place and be another scandal to divert people away. That's the way it happens. But someone was saying about Carl McCormick, what's happened to him, asked earlier on. I think that's, I don't know what's happened to him. I know he was getting fed up with it for a while, wasn't he? He was saying he felt like he was whistling into the wind with it. But I think at the same time he was expecting too much, like that YouTube would be able to check everyone's acros or disclosures or whatever. And the thing is, they're not going to do that. They need hordes of people checking these things. And there's another thing as well, right, which people forget. You could get your acro out, clean as a whistle, right? Clean as a whistle. And show it and say, here we are. Then the next day, get arrested and charged with a serious offence. But it won't be on that acro that you've handed over. That's the thing about it. Only lasts for that one time. Yeah, they say he will be back. I think it got a lot because he made it a real mission, didn't he? He was one of the first ones with Humble to make it a campaign issue. But I think what got him was also, it's another thing in the reality is bye-bye, Miss M. It's also a fact of people may be interested in listening to something, but it doesn't mean that they cared about it, that they take action. It doesn't mean that at all, that they care about it. They're just interested in watching at the moment. That happened with the VIP. Have to be careful what words you use on YouTube. People that do nasty things to children in Parliament, the VIPs. Remember at the time when that was going on, I know. Do you know what? I know that's not Chris Hartley, and I know it isn't. If you carry on being stupid, I'm telling you now, I will reveal who you are. But yeah, it went into. They were all going mad about it. Oh, VIPs, and they were going. The government was going to be brought down, and they had these stupid things with masks on. Well, I am. What was it? Oh, daft things. I'm Legion. Forgetting that actually Legion is the devil in the Bible. That's who Legion is. And it's like, why would you want to be calling yourself Legion, the devil? We are many. Why would you do that when you're talking about a sensitive subject like children being violated? And it all got hyped up and they said, this is going nowhere. It said, it's a feeding frenzy. It said, the sharks are feeding and you're going to suddenly find out that the papers aren't really interested. They're only interested in it for a while. Then you're going to find it goes nowhere. I saw so many people crash right to the floor during that. They just crash. And exactly what I predicted would happen. They said, you're going to accept a danger to children into your own ranks. And you're going to start promoting them. I said the doorway is open because you won't listen. What it was, you couldn't question anyone. If you question one of the leaders in these trendies that were fighting, we're fighting against these horrible politicians and these abusers, you couldn't question them or you'd be attacked. And I said that's going to open the gateway for someone to get in there and use you as a shield. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. And it all came crashing down. The children any safer? No, they're not. And this is what can happen. You've got to be totally, when it comes to something serious, like the safety of children, safety of elderly, safety of anyone really, you can't afford to go acting like it's some kind of, yeah, hey, we're on a parade here. Well, I'm going to get famous. And this is it. People wanted to get famous and become celebrities through fighting for it. Yeah, and they saw what happened to that one from GMP, Maggie Oliver. They saw what happened to her. It's like, oh, we can get on Celebrity Big Brother and all this. No, not really. It's not going to pan out that way. She was just lucky the way it happened for her. But Burgers, well, yeah, ages ago that wasn't it? But yeah, I'll put the link out again. And they were saying to Hunt the other day, said, do you want to come on and do like a question and answer for the public? Oh, I haven't got time. Nobody had time to go live today to need a little kiss. Queen Anne asked him to attend court and he doesn't have time. But then he suddenly has time. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's going to get a telling off, I can tell you now. He's going to get a right telling off when I see him again. Charlie. What's not good enough is self-support is leading him for his lies and not his print. But do you remember this thing, Charlie, that people forget? Do you remember when he first passed away? It was like a national hero had gone, a total national hero. People forget that now. And then all the thing came out about him. But this is the thing you've got to understand. And I know about the press from the job I did as a child and the industry I was in from a child. I know damn well what the press are like, and I never trust any journalists or trust any media. I don't. No way. You have to be very, very careful with them. And of course, the question arose, why didn't the press out this when he was alive? Why did they wait until he was dead? And the absolutely pathetic excuse you got was, oh, well, they couldn't because every time they were going to, SAF would turn around and say, well, these millions I've raised for children, they're not going to get it if you say anything about me. And so for the sake of these poor children not getting the millions, the press didn't say, oh, hand me a laugh. They couldn't care less whether those children would have got that money or not. If they thought they were going to get front pages for months out of a story, they would have done it. They chose not to do it because the whole system does. And this was, I was saying before the Savile scandal, the whole system is set up to silence. Your police are set up to keep it silent. Your Home Office is set up. Your IOPC is set up to everything. And what you do is you look at an organisation you're supposed to go to and report things and get help from them. You'll always find that they can find a rule or regulation which means they can't do anything in this situation. They can't get involved in this situation. Why do you think those rules are there? Because they're set up not to be able to do anything. That's the whole point. They're telling you, we're doing this. Look, we've got this. We're going to help these poor children. We're going to help these victims of grooming. But the truth is, they've always got a clause or a rule somewhere which gives them an excuse to say, oh, no, we can't get involved. And, oh, yeah, the BBC, more than the BBC were helping them. I'm telling you now, people forget there's lots of still things that are kept secret. People don't know the full story. They really don't know the full story. Not just the BBC. ITV isn't free of it either. And lots of people knew about Savile, and everyone knows that now. But yeah, this is the thing. The whole system is set up intentionally so that they can't. But it's looking like they are going to do something. Oh yeah, we're going to do. We're doing. I used to have people saying to me, and it used to make me want to vomit. This is the one that got me. These are people who were campaigning for against VIP, people who do horrible things to children. And that says to them, you do know that there's children right now, as you're campaigning, who are being regularly abused. The system was to put them on, to get these really latchkey kids that didn't have a family they could rely on, usually boys, a lot of them, to get them hooked on, depending on drugs, and then use them. And then when they weren't to be used anymore, just dump them. The kids couldn't go to the police, they couldn't go anywhere because it was people who were doing this were all being covered up by and still are, this still happens today, by the chiefs of the force and the system. I used to say, what about them? I said, when you're looking at these high-ranking VIPs where it's iffy if what's being said to them is actually right or not. And there were a lot of lies told. I'm sorry, there were people claiming to be victims that came forward that were lying, and it was obvious they were lying. They weren't victims. And you couldn't say, no, I don't believe this, or you'd be attacked and ripped down. But I used to say, well, oh, yeah, they go 50 years ago. Something would have happened 50 years ago in some care home. Now, of course, you've got to look into it. Whether it was 50 years ago, whether it was 80 years ago, you've got to look into it. Those children are just, those people now were children then, and just as important. But all the focus was on that. And when you turn around, this disgusting me, and I'd say, what about the children now that's happened to now? And I'd get told, oh, they can wait until we sort this out. Can you believe that? This was from campaigners, and that wasn't unusual for me to hear that back to me. Oh, they can wait, we'll get round to them. So you imagine this, people, this is what I said. You've got an adult in the 60s standing that side here saying, oh, 50 years ago, I was abused. Help me get justice. Quite right, they need justice. Then on the other side, you've got a 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid pulling at you saying, I'm being abused like now, help me. And this is what they were doing theoretically. They were going, oh, wait a minute, you can wait, I'll just help this man. Can anyone work that one out? And that's when I had nothing but total contempt for a lot of these campaigners, and still to this day. I mean, I could name them, there's no point naming them now, because they've got the desserts, they're wanting to be great campaigners and be celebrities because they're great campaigners. It's in tatters when they, exactly what I said happened. They let an abuser into their own and promotes them and protected them and all this, the idiots. So that's what happens. That's what happens. Here we are. What's this? Hush, hush. Oh, yeah. Well, this is a good thing you just said. I would say this, abuse that power. I'm glad you said that. But ever heard the saying, power corrupts people? No, exactly what you said. Power doesn't corrupt anyone. Power is innate. It can't corrupt anything. People who are corrupt abuse power. That's what's always blame the person. People in power abuse that power, and that's what it is. It's not that power corrupts. Corrupt people abuse power. That's what they do. Always blame them for it. Let's see. Androgyne Mimi. Down to Androgyne Mimi. And Drogyne. See this, I could go into it, but androgyne is a completely different thing from androgyny. Anyone can be androgynous. Well, I'm not saying anyone can. If you make people think it's that a man or a woman, and you'd not be mistaken thinking that I'm a woman. Yeah. Oh, I know you weren't. I know you weren't disrespecting me. But no, androgyne very quickly is physical. It's not when you look at someone. No, when you see someone that's androgynous and you think, is that male or female? And you just can't tell. A full male, 100% male, can be androgynous. A full female can be androgynous. It's how they look. Androgyne is physical. In other words, hermaphrodite. Was the old word for it. I put, before I jump off, because it's been an hour, I'll put the link out there again. Someone sensible wants to jump on. Have a little chatty chat. Do you know, someday I'm going to keep on doing this because what I did, I got this in the heart. Do you know when I was first doing the live chats? Because this also getting that, I'll see it, Charlene. I wasn't getting people calling on. And I was thinking, oh, this isn't worth it. But I've worked out, actually, if you keep on doing them regularly, then it builds up and builds up and builds up. Where I was just like, it's not working. It's not working, darlings. I'm not going to do this anymore. There you will all be sorry, like people will be all devastated and crying. Oh, no. We're not going to have a life around. What an arrogant, bleeding narcissistic thing to think. But yeah, I think that is, I'll keep them up regularly so that people start getting used to it. Then people will start coming on and hopefully start getting them longer and more interesting as well. And because I want people to start talking about what they want to talk about as well, instead of me just trundling on here. And you never know, you might get some little bits of information out of me that I haven't thought of talking about. Oh, there's lots. I'm an old sod. I could, the things that I've forgotten could be tweaked into my brain again by someone asking a question. Anyway, it doesn't look like anyone's going to jump on, and we've been going on for an hour. So I say, people, I will be back on again. I'm going to keep on doing them regularly so that I can try and get people used to coming on, because I think that's how you do it. Because Moto's done that, hasn't he? Motorsports. He's kept it going, and by keeping it going, he's getting a loyal sort of group of people that come on and start talking with him and communicating with him. So anyway, me darlings, I'll wrap it up now. Thank you for joining me, and I'll make sure I have another one in a couple of days' time. If anyone wants to jump on, please do jump on. So thank you to everyone in the chat, and thank you for NFG, who again has helped save the day. He did that last time when someone didn't turn up. NFG turned up and saved the day. So thank you very much for that. So take care, everyone. Bye now.